Hi everybody, welcome to my kitchen. Welcome to Karen's Sizzle and Spice. Today I'm excited to show you this such a simple recipe for basil salt. Raise your hand if you love basil. I know I do, I love basil, and it's growing like crazy in my garden. And basil salt can be used for so many things. I'm going to tell you all about that, but I do want to ask all of you, how is your garden growing? Let's go take a look at mine. Okay guys, let's go take a look at my garden. I love this time of the year. Look at how everything's growing so perfectly. I did have to put some fencing up around my raised garden this year so the critters would stay out. But here's my tomatoes. I've picked quite a few of these. Here's my bell peppers. Look at how nice and tall they're getting. And can you see all those flowers on there? Every flower means there'll be a bell pepper on there. And look at my basil, my prize basil. Now I've already cut these down quite a bit, and I've made dried basil. Today we're gonna make basil salt. So friends, every time I wanna make something with my basil, I'll cut off about a third of the top of the whole basil plant. And you wanna do that anyway. You don't wanna let flowers grow on here because it'll go to weed then and you won't have any more basil. So by chopping off the top here, I really never get flowers and I can just harvest my basil. So I'm just gonna cut off big chunks of both my basil plants here for this basil salt. You guys are gonna love this. So now that I have all my beautiful basil inside, and I wish you guys could smell my kitchen, it smells heavenly. I'm just gonna pull all my basil leaves off of the stems. I don't want the stems in here. And I'm gonna give these a good rinse once I get them all pulled. Hey friends, while I'm peeling all these leaves off of here, I'm wondering, how is your garden growing? I would love to see some pictures of your gardens. So now that I've got all this basil ready to go with no stems, I did want to make clear to you that once I cut off about a third of the height of the basil plants, they grow back so abundantly. You'd be so surprised. It grows so wonderful. So if you want to keep your basil growing all summer long, you got to make sure trim. I'm going to wash this now. So in reality, this basil probably didn't even need to be rinsed because we had a great heavy rain just a few hours ago. But I do like to rinse it off, make sure there's nothing that we don't want on here. I'm gonna put all my basil here on paper towels. And I'm gonna take another paper towel or two, and I'm gonna blot it really well. We're gonna try to get this basil as dry as we can before we throw it in the salt. So I am going to use my food processor for this. This is a great food processor. I had another one that went out on me after quite a few years. So it took me a little while to kind of do some research to figure out what kind I would like. This one is so easy. You see how this piece part fits right here. With my old one, I used to have to twist it and try to figure out where it was going to lock in. This one is just as clear as it can be. It just goes like that, and it's ready to use. Love this thing. Now, you know what makes this recipe so complicated is there's two ingredients. There's coarse salt, coarse sea salt is what I'm using, and basil. That's all there is. So I'm gonna use equal parts. So I think I'll use about 1 cup. Now this will be smashed in my measuring cup here. 1 cup of the basil leaves. And then we'll use 1 cup of the coarse salt. See, once I press this in here, there's quite a bit less than what you think. So that's good. And you see I had rolled it up in my paper towels to dry it. I can use the rest of this basil for something else because I don't like to waste the basil. I love the basil so much. So yeah, we've got about 1 cup there. Now we're gonna take our coarse sea salt here, and I'm gonna pour 1 cup into here. Let's see, where's the cups in here? Here we go, right there. A little bit more. So we're like right at 1 cup there. So what I'm gonna do next is I'm just gonna pour my cup of salt right into my food processor. And then I'm gonna pour in my basil, just like that. And we're gonna pulse it until it's mixed nicely. There we go. This thing is so easy. Love this thing. And we're gonna pulse. Here we go. So it looks perfectly blended. Let me show you. It's so pretty. Look at this. Look at how pretty that is. Ah, the smell. Do you smell it, Eddie?
Yes, I do.
Ah, I love everything about basil. So I'm just going to take this mixed combination here and I'm gonna pour it onto my large baking sheet, and I've put some parchment paper on here, and my oven is set at 220. Look at how pretty is that. Oh, I'm excited about this. I can't wait to tell you guys all the things we can use this on. It's like unbelievable. And I hope I have some basil lovers out there like myself and Eddie. So I'm just gonna spread this nice and even thin layer on my baking sheet. And it's gonna go into the oven for 30 minutes at 220. This is ready for the oven now. It's preheated to 220. I can't wait for this basil salt. We'll check this in 30 minutes. Friends, it's been 30 minutes. My basil salt is ready. Look at how cool this looks. You see how it got so much lighter in color? And look at it, it's as hard as it can be, all one piece. We're gonna just let it cool for a few minutes until I can handle it. Isn't this cool? You just break this apart now that it's nice and dried, and we're gonna put it back in the food processor. And we're gonna have basil salt that's gonna last us for quite a while. I gotta start telling you all the ways to use this. I'm gonna try it on a hard-boiled egg right away. Any place that you think you might like basil, this is gonna be fantastic. And salt, of course. It's gonna be good on pizza, on tomatoes, in any pasta dish. Can you taste this on a baked potato, Ed?
Yes.
Oh, it's gonna be so good. So I'm just cracking everything up here. Look how cool that is. And then we're gonna put it back in the food processor. Let me see if I can do that without spilling. I think I can. Right here. Here we go. Look at that. How cool is that? All right, let me get the cover on, and we're gonna pulse it again. Here we go. All right. It smells so good. I'm gonna just pour this now into a container here for myself. I might have to get myself another wooden salt box for this one. Look at that. Look at that beautiful basil salt. Yeah. I'm gonna taste this basil salt with my hard-boiled egg. Let's see how it goes here. Look at how pretty that is. Let me taste it. I love it. It's delicious. I can't wait to try it on about a dozen more things. And please, if you have any ideas on where you could use this basil salt, where you'd love it, leave it in the comments. I love hearing from you guys. Thanks so much for being here today. Please give us a thumbs up. Make sure you're a subscriber, and make sure you come back and watch our videos often. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.